dos grandes obstáculos, nascem a força e a vontade de os superar. Uma força maior que a soma das partes, que desafia a criatividade, a disponibilidade e a solidariedade. Os portugueses, quando chamados a lutar por si e pelos seus, nunca desapontaram. E perante um novo inimigo comum, as soluções urgem e os esforços unem-se. É assim que nasce o movimento Tech for Covid-19. Conscientes de que os profissionais de saúde se encontram na linha da frente, pretendemos, através das mais variadas competências envolvidas neste movimento, apoiar e agilizar o combate a esta pandemia. Em menos de 48 horas, uma conversa informal entre fundadores de startups tecnológicas portuguesas transformou-se numa equipa de mais de 600 pessoas, de 120 empresas diferentes das mais variadas áreas de atividade, com um objetivo comum: unir o talento português no desenvolvimento de soluções tecnológicas que ajudem a população a ultrapassar o desafio do Covid-19. Não somos mais B2B ou B2C. Somos H to H, human to human.
Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Castro, and we're going to be doing a workshop that is Define Your Tech Product now. Let me talk a little bit about myself and then we can start. So, okay, I think you're all seeing my screen right now. So, I've been working, I run a software house for 2 years now, and we listen to clients, we understand their ideas, and we develop products every day. And I was graduated at Livagun. Currently I live in Brazil, in São Paulo, and I'm a teacher, a programming teacher for Livagun in São Paulo and also in different cities around the world. So I build products every day, and I also have my own products. I'm about to launch a startup. So the daily to day entrepreneur business and defining products, listening to clients, talking to a tech team, I do this a lot. And when we are talking about defining your tech product, sometimes we as entrepreneurs, we need to know a little bit about different areas, because we got to talk to design team, we got to talk to a tech team, to developers, we got to talk to investors, to pitch our ideas, and how do we define our product, and what are the basic skills we need. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this. And in my experience, when we are dealing with products, I see two very common mistakes. The first one, when a client comes to define his product, he has an idea, he's gonna tell this product for me, and often either his description is too vague, so he just say a random description, a vague description, and we can't turn this into a product yet. We would have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper until I can, okay, now we can build something. Or either the description is too specific. So he brings in a lot of details, like 10 big files with a lot of specifications that maybe we don't even need. It's too early to be that specific. So these are very common mistakes when I see entrepreneurs defining their product. And here in this workshop, we are gonna talk about 4 simple steps that we can define our own products. And I'm gonna give you like 4 exercises for you to do with your products later on. And the first one is product pitch. The second one is mockup. The third is the B schemes. And the fourth is user stories. What's that? First, the product pitch is about vision. So as an entrepreneur, I need to know a little bit of a lot of stuff. So I need to know a little bit about the vision of my product. So what do I want? What are the value proposition? What are the key values? Which pain and I'm addressing? This is very important. This is the core of my product. I need to know this by heart, and I need to have a nice pitch about this that even a 5-year-old can understand. The second one is the mock-up. It's the design. I need to make a little wireframe, simple. It could be a drawing. We could use it too. I'm going to use it too in this workshop for you to make on your computers. But we could even do this on paper. And this is needed for me to talk to the future design team so they can understand what I'm trying to build, which screens we will have, how do I want them, and then they can build the layout. So before the layout, we need a mock-up. We need a wireframe. It could be really simple, but we need to know how to talk to designers. Also, database scheme. We need to know a little bit, it's not a lot, it's a little bit of architecture, so we can talk properly with our tech team. So I'm not gonna go too technical. It's gonna be the simple things that we can learn without being programmers, but so we can draw our product properly and we can pass on this idea to the tech team. And this is really, really helpful. And the fourth is the user stories. It's all about the features. So this is the language that we talk to the product managers. So with the user stories, we're gonna tell the story and the features that our app needs to have. What do we need to build? Geolocation integration, the user can sign up, can sign in, can post a flat or whatever we want. And we're gonna get on to this in the 4th exercise, okay? So we have several different languages to speak as an entrepreneur having a product. And we don't need to know a lot about everything for drawing our product. Of course not. But we need to know a little bit of each of these areas so we can talk to the teams, so we can actually build the product properly. And it will make really, really a lot easier to pass on the idea and to start your product, to prototype your idea, if you have this simple skill sets and if you can talk a little bit in these 4 languages that we are going to speak. So we need to know a little bit, not much, a little bit of architecture, a little bit of design. So when we're talking about architecture, we are talking tables in a database. When we're talking with design and front-end development, designers, they're gonna say, oh, front-end, drop-down list, avatar, cards, sign-up form. They have the language, and we talk a little bit with the design team as well. It's good to talk a little bit of their language. And with features, here we can see a photo of Trello. I don't know if you all know what Trello is. It's a simple tool for managing cards. So you can have lists and you can have cards and you can easily ordinate cards through priority. And we're gonna see a little bit of managing these features. And this is the language the product managers do. And that's how they talk. They talk user stories and features and Trello, okay? And we, as entrepreneurs, as the product managers of everything, we need to talk a little bit with everyone. So let's start with the product pitch, okay? And here we have a nice quote from Stringer Bell that we got the best goddamn product, so we're gonna sell no matter where we are, right? Product, motherfuckers, product. Okay, so what's that? In the product bit, we need to focus about some simple things. It's not like, oh, my market, I'm gonna sell to pregnant lady. We have 500 million pregnant ladies, and that's a $100 million market. Of course, that could be the business model. That could be added on later to talk to investors, something. But in the first place, we need to have a strong pitch, an easy, fast pitch that talks three things. The first thing is the target. So who are my customers? Who am I talking to? What's the language I'm going to use? Who am I targeting for this product? The second one is pain. So what do they suffer from? Which problem am I addressing? This, in my opinion, is the most important. It's all about pain. Pain, pain, pain. If you don't have a strong pain for a product, you should work on that first, and then you find everything else. So what do they suffer from? And the solution, it's how will I solve their problems? How do I solve their needs? Okay. So first thing is the pain. Have a clear vision on the pain you're addressing. Then we work to the target. Who are my customers? Okay. And now how am I going to solve this pain for this target? That's the simple core values of the pitch. It needs to have this and really easy. And you work the pitch onto these three main values. If we think about, we can think about Easy Móveis. This is a startup that it's furniture that fits your life. So basically, I bought some furniture and I move in city, or even I have some extra furniture, an extra table that I don't need, and I want to rent this furniture. And some people who just moved into my city or who's gonna stay here for 6 months, they could rent furniture without having to buy. So it's a marketplace that people wants to rent furniture, people wants to buy furniture, to receive furniture. Okay, so if we think about their pitch, what would be the pitch? What's the pain? The pain could be, it's really hard, it's really expensive to buy an entire set of furniture. If you're moving to a town and it's expensive, it's hard, you need a lot of money, sometimes you don't have that money, and well, that's a good pain. What's the target? The target, people who are moving from work, not gonna stay very long in a city. We could think about some target. And what about the solution? Okay, one more thing. Also, this target, in this case, this startup, we have two targets. We have first, people who are moving to a city and they need new furniture. They don't have money to buy all the furniture at once. And the second target is people who have extra furniture. So I have an extra table and I want to rent it. So we have two targets here. And also the solution. How will I address this pain for this target? In this case, we can think about the solution. That is, okay, we have a platform that people who have extra furniture can rent for people who are moving to a new city and needs furniture and don't want to invest a lot of money. Clear, simple. If you address these three columns, you can make a brilliant pitch that children can understand, and it lasts less than a minute. So you need to know how to talk about a product, and that's all about the pitch and the three main pillars, okay? So let's do a live mockup. I'm gonna use a tool for the mockup. So we've done the product pitch. And for the mockup, it's the wireframe. I need to draw my wireframe, okay? So I don't know if you've seen Product Hunt, if you know Product Hunt. Basically, Product Hunt, it's very nice. It's a startup, it's a platform that you can enter and you can browse for products. We have a lot of new tech products launching every day. And Product Hunt, you can browse for this new tech products and people will upvote the ones they like. So if I see some new product, I can upload this product on the platform, and people will get to know this product and they will upvote if they like. So it's a really nice way to know tech products. So let's say I have this great product hunt idea. I hope I had, but let's say we have this product hunt idea and we want to make a little mock-up for our designers. So we've thought about the pitch, we thought about the pain, we thought about the solution. We need to make a wireframe. That's the step 2. And we could draw the wireframe in a paper. It's simple like that. If you're good at drawing, you could make a mock-up. You could draw the boxes. It's like you need to make a little wireframe of the page, of the main pages of your app, okay, of your platform. So we can also use any tools we want, as Sketch or Figma. Figma is free. You just need to sign up. It's an online tool. You can use on any OS. So, and it's very simple to use. It's really, I'm not the designer myself, but Figma is really helpful if I want to draw something quickly and for my design team. So here we have the frame. It's a desktop frame that I created for this size of screen. We can fiddle with the size of the screen. We can make mobile screen, whatever we want. But right now, we're going to make a desktop screen. First of all, I'm going to make a little banner. I'm just going to do some live mockup so you can know how to make it ourselves when you need to do it. So let's say I want to add the banner for my product, okay? So first of all, we can place an image. Here, let's do this one. I'm gonna do it right here. And if we want to make a banner, we could place this image here. This is the size of the screen. Here is good. And now let's add some text for our beautiful banner. Find the best products. For this text, right here in the right, we can change the size. So let's do 64, and the color, white would be better. Also, I want to make it bold. So here I have a little trick that, as you can see, it's not easy to read because of the image of the banner. So we can add a rectangle above the banner that can be like a layer, a color layer. So right here we could make a blackish rectangle, and we could add some transparency. We could make the opacity be, for example, 30%. And right here we can say, okay, let's bring this backward. So this is the order. The text will be on top, then the 30% opacity black square, and then we have the photo. So here we can make it's more readable now, and now we have an okay banner. Of course, for the wireframe, guys, we don't even need images. We could just make gray squares. It's okay, but with images, it's a little better. It's a little it's better looking, of course. So I recommend you to get some images. It does not take long, and to put the images. Probably it's not going to be the images your designers will use once you get to proper layout your product, but it's good. It's good enough to communicate what you want, the intentions, okay? So also for a banner, let's add some search bar right here. So I'm going to add another rectangle. Could be white. Okay, not too good looking, but it's fine. I'm not the designer myself, but I'm passing the idea. So right here, let's add some more text. So some products you might like. We could make this a little bit smaller. 48, okay. Let's centralize this. Some products you might like. And we can add some cards to finish our beautiful landing page layout. let's add some more images that are, these are the product. I have selected some random screenshots for us so we don't lose time searching for images online. But when you're designing your product, of course, you're going to search for the images you want. And here we can make a small grid. Let's add one more. Place image. Let's say this one. Sapiens. This actually was the product that I have built when I did Livagoon. In the end of the bootcamp, of the programming bootcamp, we have a 2-week that we built a product from scratch with our team. And this one that I took the screenshot was the one that I have built. So right here, we have 2 products. We could add a few more. We could just copy this and paste. Copy this and paste. And now we have a nice page, find the best products. So this is the wireframe. This is a quick drawing to showcase what it's in our mind. It's better if we draw. You see, I didn't take even 10 minutes. It was probably 5 minutes, 7 minutes to draw a simple page. It's really useful if we are passing our idea. So when we are talking to the tech team, when we are explaining our idea to investors, well, if you have this wireframe, it's really, really better to showcase what you're thinking and to actually make people buy your idea. Say, oh, that seems great and that looks good. Let's invest and let's find a new designer. Let's find a co-founder that could help us build this. So also, one nice thing about Figma is we can have some sort of components. So let's try to make a new frame. Let's say a desktop frame, another desktop frame right here. And here, let's say this is the other screen, okay? I have several pages in my application, in my product, and this is the new screen. Let's say I want the same exact banner in this new screen. It would be a headache if I had to design everything again, this banner all over again. So here I can select this 4 elements. So it's the photo, the rectangle, the find the best products, and the input. So in here, I right-click it, and probably I have a create component. Yes, create component. So here, now this is a component. I can call it banner. And I could copy my banner, Control-C or Command-C if you're using Mac, and I could paste it right here. So if we see on the left side, we have desktop 1, this is the first screen that I'm building, and we have desktop 2, this is the second screen, and we have the banner component in both. And one interesting thing is if I want to change stuff in this banner, for example, let's see this rectangle. If I want to make it a little bit smaller, it changes in both at the same time because it's the same component. So if you have a nav bar that you're sharing on multiple screens, you make it a component, you change it one time, and you don't have to redo the work on several different pages. So it's really simple and it's fast to prototype, okay? So we've done the mockup. We have a nice wireframe. Now we can talk to designers. That's beautiful. And let's move on to the database scheme, okay? So let me do this presenting. I think it takes a little while. Okay, we have it. Great. So let's talk about the third step. That's talking to the tech team. And I'm a developer myself, but I'm gonna try to not get technical, but enough so you can understand the core words and what do we have to do and how can we do it. So first thing, we're gonna design our basic database, okay, for this product. And a database you can think about as a spreadsheet. so an Excel spreadsheet, and we have different tables that we store information, okay? So for example, our users, whenever someone signs up, we need to store this information in a users table. We will have name, we have his email, his password, and everything like that, okay? So it's simple as that. We store information in different tables, and we're gonna think about the core tables that we need for our product. So the first thing is focus on the core ones. I will not get into the database to build everything, just the base, the main feature, the main tables that you need, so you can talk better to the tech team, so you can build easily. So let's take, for example, the product hunt, okay? And if we think about tables, we have the users table that will store the user data, for example, the username, the email. And also, what we have more, thinking about the core tables of the product hunt, we have the products. So whenever someone adds a product, okay, I've seen this nice new product called Airbnb. No one knows about it. Let's add to the product hunt. I want to add this product. And so we need to store this in our table, okay? So our products table, every product that we add, it has a name, it has a URL. For example, it goes to this website, airbnb.com. And also, we need to say which user has uploaded it, which user has added this product to our website, okay? So how do we do this? How do we reference the user? For that, we use this thing that we call foreign key. This is the user ID. So in the users table, let's talk about a little bit about names. In the user table, we have the primary key. That's basically an identifier to know which user is which. So instead of using the email, we use the key, a number to identify. So 1, 2, and 3, we have Oliver, Edward, and Vincent. And in the products table, let's say Edward added livelihood product. So, okay, so the name is livelihood, the URL is this one, and the user who added this product is the user 2. That's Edward, okay? So when people add new products to the platform, it's gonna look like this. So here we have a new product, it's called Kudos, and it was added by Olivier. And another product, it's called USlide, it was added by Vincent. And one thing, in this case, for this platform, the same user can add several products. We want this way, because if I spot a new tech product that I want to add to the platform, I can simply add a new product. So for example, right here, we have Freshest, and it was added by Edward. So Edward added different products. And this, I'm gonna start using, I'm gonna teach you some keyword that we use. So this is what we call the one-to-many relationship. So the same user can add several products. Edward can add several products. We call the one-to-many relationship. And we call this a user has many products, okay? And if a user has many products, one product belongs to a user, okay? It's a little weird here, but you can understand what I'm saying. So every product, it's gonna belong to a user. Freshest belongs to Edward because Edward added Freshest. And Edward has many products. In this case, it has Livelihood and Freshest, okay? So this is what I told you about the names. This is the primary keys. Every table has a primary key, and this is the foreign key. So when we are referencing to other table. Okay, so let's talk about let's dive a little deeper in a little harder scenario, okay? So let's say I need also for the product hunt, as we have seen in the website, every product can be upvoted. And so any user can enter and can upvote this product. So for the upvote table, this is a little harder to grasp, but it's okay. This is as hard as it gets for database. I'm being honest with you, okay, guys? This is as hard as it gets for designing your database. So we need to build upvotes, and several different users could vote for several different products. So a product can receive upvotes from different users, and a user can upvote different products. And for that, we can have a table for the upvotes. And every upvote will be an upvote between a user and a product. So what we need 2 foreign keys right here. And this upvote was by Vincent on product kudos. Okay, so we use the primary keys from each table to reference in the upvotes table. So here we can have several upvotes. This one, the second upvote. Also, we have a date. It's useful. When did the user upvoted this product? So here we had Vincent upvoted another product. It was livelihood. So Vincent liked both kudos and livelihood. And Edward also liked the livelihood. So right now, livelihood has 2 upvotes and kudos has 1 upvote. So here, when we have this kind of relationship that a user has many upvotes and a product also has many upvotes, we call a many-to-many relationship. Okay? So user could have many products through the upvotes. So he could upvote many products. And also the product could be upvoted for many users. This is how developers talk. A user has many products through upvotes, and a product has many users through upvotes. This is the tech talking, and these are some keywords, but that's what you need to know about databases and designing database. That's this many-to-many or end-to-end relationship. It's as hard as it gets. I'm being honest with you. So if we want to draw some schemes for our new product, we have several different tools for this. Levagoon has a tool for designing a database. Let's use it. Let's draw our nice product hunt right now. Anytime. It's a little bit too slow. Let's try a different. Okay, I'm gonna try to refresh this. Might be some connection issues. I don't know why it's not loading the proper framing. It looks way more beautiful than this, but it might be some connection issues on my side. So let's try to create this product hunt. And let's open this. Okay, this is the actual tool. Okay, guys, I don't know, it was not working. I think my internet was slowing down, I don't know. But here is the actual tool. So you create a new schema. We call it schema. And then here we can add tables. So let's think about our nice product. Okay, so we want users. So we click add table, and here we can add users table. Let me zoom in for you to be easier to see. So here I have the users table, and I could add whatever fields I want. So let's say the user has a username, and let's add another field. It also has an email. Okay, nice. And here, let's add a new table. It will be the products. So if you want a new example, I could do a new example for you instead of product hunt for this tables, because I just showed you the slides for the product hunt. Let's think about a new one. Let's think about the Airbnb. So I'm a user. I can post a flat, and here I could add the table for the flats. And every flat that I want to rent, it has several fields. It has a name, it has a description. And here it was posted by me, so it needs to have a foreign key for the user ID. And I can connect this table to the other one. So the flat belongs to the user, and users can have many flats. This is a one-to-one relationship, okay? And also, when we do a booking, we could add the bookings. So a different user wants to book my flat, and he's gonna make a reservation, or he's gonna make a booking. So we could add a new table. It could be called reservations or bookings, whatever you prefer. So let's say bookings. And the booking, it's made by an user. So we need a user ID. And it's also a user books a flat. So it needs to also reference a flat. So we need a flat ID right here. So let's connect this one, connect foreign key to user ID, and this one connect foreign key to flat ID. So let's make it look more beautiful. So here is our database scheme. Also, the bookings could have a date. We could say a booking date. So this is the date that it was booked. We could also make things like price and whatever we want. But this is the initial architecture of my product. So we can start thinking about the tables that we want, where we will store the data, which data we want to store. So, okay, the flats, I want the flats to have a price. And we can add more and more fields here. But think about just the core tables. You don't need to think about your entire product, just the main one. And this helps a lot to talk with the developers, with the tech team, and to start your development. Okay? So, well, that's great. We know how to build the architecture, the beginning of the database of our product, the database schemes. That's how we call it. And let's talk a little bit about user stories now, okay? So when we're talking about user stories, let me do the presentation here. User stories is what we call the features of our app. So everything that we can interact with the app. So when we are building a new idea, a new product, we have to think, what will everyone be allowed to do in the product? So for example, when I enter the first page, I should be able to sign up. So as a visitor, I should be able to sign up. So how do we make these user stories? How do we think about them? And this is how product managers think. They talk user stories. So the simple user story that we can make has two important things. It's as a someone, visitor, user, whatever we want, I can do something. So we have the who and we have the what, okay? So for example, in the main page of my platform, as a user, let's think about the product hunt. So first, as a visitor, I can sign up. And what's the difference between a visitor and a user? A user has already logged in. He has an email and a password. And we also, when we are doing with user stories, our products might have several different things for different kinds of user. So as a flat owner in the Airbnb, I can change the picture of my flat. As a visitor, I can sign up. And also, in a good product, we want the visitor to be able to do several things before signing up. Let's take Airbnb again, for example. As a visitor, I can browse the flats. I don't need to sign up to see the list of available flats, to browse, to filter. We can do a lot of things as a visitor, and then only when we want to book, when we need to pay, okay, now you sign up. So it's really usual and common that as a visitor, we will have several stories as a visitor, and then several stories as a user, and well, we do need them. So as a user, I can change my profile picture. I can't do this as a visitor, okay? So let's think about a few user stories for Product Hunt. Could be, as a visitor, I can sign up. As a user, I can post a product, so I can add a new product to the platform. Also, as a user, I can upvote a product, and so it goes. Thinking about Airbnb, it's the same thing. It's the same thinking. It's who and what. As a someone, I can something. So I also can sign up. I can book a flat. As a user, I can add book a flat. As a owner of a flat, so we are thinking about the third person here. As the owner, I can accept a booking or I can refuse a booking. And this way we can build our user stories. I'm gonna show you a little bit about Trello, because Trello is really, really useful when we are coordinating these features, these user stories. And right here, this is the Trello platform, okay? And here we can add lists. So we can add whatever list we want. So, okay, create new lists. We can delete lists, change the name of lists. So basically we add some lists, and here it's a simple workflow that works really good for the team. And here is the product backlog. The first list is the product backlog. And here is where we dump all of the user stories. So everything that we think, user stories that could be the most priority to the last priority, something that we need to build for the app. And also, oh, we might build this someday. We want to build this someday, but it's not the main priority. Everything we add to the product backlog, okay? So here we could add a new card. As a user, as a visitor, I can sign up. Also, as a visitor, let's think about Airbnb. I can browse for flats. We could say, as a visitor, I can filter flats by city. And here we go. We can go on and on, thinking about the stories of the visitor. And one very important thing when we are thinking about user stories, okay, it's great. You can make several user stories, but think about the core ones, the main ones that your product needs. This is one of the most important things when you're building the user stories and you're passing this to the tech team for them to build. And you need to know what's the core user stories of your product. And how do I know which user story is the core one and which is not the core one? Basically, the core one is the one that your product needs to function. If you take this away, your product will be non-functional, okay? And the non-core one, it's okay, if you take this away, well, you might like this one, you might want this one, but if you take this away, your product will still be functioning. Your product will still work. Let's take two examples in Airbnb. Let's say, as a user, I can add a flat to the platform. Or even, as a user, I can book a flat. So I was visiting a flat, I chose one, and I can book a flat. That's one user story. Let's add this. As a user, I can book a flat. Let's think about a different one also for a user. As a user, let me increase the size so you can see it better. As a user, I can I can add a profile picture. Okay, so these are two interesting user stories. We want users to be able to add profile pictures, but we need users to be able to book a flat. So if we would say, okay, you need to choose. We are starting a product, we don't have much money to start, we need to choose a few, and we need to develop this wheel with a tight budget. Let's say we have 2,000 euros, you have to choose what we want to build. Of course, you need to focus on the core ones. So the Airbnb can function without users adding profile pictures, but it cannot function without users booking a flat. So it's an obvious choice here. This one is the most important. So when you're doing user stories, you can do both. You can do both the core ones and the extra ones, but prioritize them and know which ones are the core. So you could do something like this. I like to do this when I'm building products with my team. We have tags, and we can add several different tags. We could create a new tag here. Let's say this one is red, and I'm gonna say it's core, okay? And we can add this tag to our cards. So here I could add the tag core. Great, wonderful. So these ones are really important, and we could also create a new tag. Let's say create new tag, and this is extra or non-core, or you could even say the versions. In some products we have version 1, 2, 3 to 5, so I can organize through priority. Someone calls this P1, P2, P3, so this is the priority. Someone's called versions, some people call versions. Let's say this is for the version 2 of the app. So after we launch, we're gonna work on that, but we're gonna launch the basic, the core. So we're gonna make it blue, and adding a profile picture comes later, okay? It's the V2 of the website. So it's really interesting. We can add everything in the product backlog, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the other lists here. So we add everything, we dump all the user stories in the product backlog, and when they are ready, what does this mean? The ones that we want to build now, we put on the ready table. So in our daily basis, we have a really big product backlog, lots of features, 200 of features to build. But here is the ones that we are going to build now. We're going to build in the next weeks. This is the one we are going to focus right now. So we can move this. Let's add also this core tag to this one. So we can move this to the ready table. The in progress column is the ones that are being built by someone right now. So here, let's say I'm working on this feature as a developer. I'm working on this, I'm building this. I put this in progress. So everyone, it's online, and you can add people to your team, and they can see this Trello board, and everything everyone does, everyone sees. So my team will see that this one is in progress, so they can take another one to build, okay? And right here, one interesting is I can add members to the team. So if I had more people invited to my board right now, I could add my developers. So I can say, okay, this developer is gonna do the sign up. So I'm the only one, so I'm gonna do it. So you can add this right here, says, okay, Hyan, it's gonna do the sign up. Or also, I am doing the sign up right now. And once I'm done with the sign up, I could say, okay, this is done, this is good. Another interesting feature, if you want to even get deeper in Trello, is we can add a date for someone to finish. So if you want to assign, okay, this guy is doing this, and it's gonna be delivered in 3 days. You can also set a date, okay? So this was the user stories part. We just wrote some user stories for Airbnb, and you can go on and on. Here, I recommend you to spend at least 1 to 2 hours writing user stories and thinking about them. If you're having trouble thinking about the user stories, one quick tip from me is look at a wireframe. So you have done your wireframe already. So you have this pages that you're gonna build. Look at a page and think, what can my visitors do? What can my users do here? What can the owners of the flat do? And then you can make several nice user stories, okay? So this was the basic 4 steps for defining your tech product and talking a little bit with the several different teams and personas that you have to talk as an entrepreneur and when you're building your product. So the first one was the product pitch. The second one was the wireframe mockup for the design. The third one was the architecture of your database. And the fourth one, the user stories that are gonna be built, the features that we are gonna add to the product, okay? I hope you have enjoyed this workshop. I've tried to not be too specific, too technical, but also to get a little deeper than the scratch, than the surface in every tool that we used. So the components in Figma and also some things about in Trello. So thank you very much. My name is Ryan Castro. If you need to get in touch with me, if you want anything, if you want to know more about what I do or more about the Vagoon or even my software house, you can talk to me. You can send me an email. And thank you all for your presence. Okay? It's been a pleasure.